Hey, what is the deal, YouTube? It is Craig Harris, the black man in the green chair, and I am back, hopefully with another video with no green screen. Don't know why it keeps dying out, so I went back and tried to reload everything just to see what is going to happen this time. I don't know if you all have been looking on Twitter what some of these Xbox guys are saying. I mean, this is amazing what these guys are saying. You got one guy, shout out to Cycle Gamer, but I just don't understand why the hell you keep the Xbox community. They truly believe the only reason why the Xbox was outsold this generation by the PlayStation is because the multiplayer games look better, ran and looked better. I mean, that's all I keep seeing is it ran and looked better, and I mean, they don't care about the price at launch. They don't care about the ecosystem. It's just like that's all they keep saying, and they keep bringing up power. And it's like, okay, even though they've got more power, translating into anything. They're playing the same damn games. So what's up? Shout out to Kratos who popped in. So yeah, I don't know what is going on. I actually contacted Google, and they said this to try to turn the computer off and restart, and it could be the storm. And also I turned off my router and rebooted, so that just have to see what happens on this stream. I'm afraid to even go over there and look, but shout out to the people that are over there. But yeah, real quick, did you see the stuff again? Shout out to Cycle Gamer. He's just, what the hell's going on with him? Did you see the stuff he's saying on Twitter?
I've been going back.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with my brother. I don't know, man. Again, I think it's that whole victimhood thing. I still think that a lot of guys in the Xbox community think that Microsoft hasn't had a fair shake. They think it's media bias. They think everybody's out to get them. And you know, and they scream and cry when somebody says something that they don't like. So these guys want to boycott and not, you know, and not support the developers and stuff like that. And again, they're not in a position to be able to do that, you know, because a developer does not have to put a game on their platform. They already have the small install base compared to the competition. So, you know.
Yeah. And so real fast, I have looked into the whole 6K thing. And basically I don't know if this is true, this very quickly. If it's true, they're taking something from a higher base resolution and then they're bringing it in, they're downsampling it into this Xbox. So it's still only going to render at a dynamic 4K. If it's true, I mean, Respawn hasn't come out. I mean, if you go to the Respawn website, it doesn't say this. So, and this has been out for about 6 hours. So maybe, you know, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, we'll go. I don't know if it was, yeah, we talked about the shots being fired at Xbox. And I guess you saw, shout out to Iron Wolf or Supersonic Wolf, I'm sorry, the man that can't go home, they claim. He's put a tweet up of officially what these guys said. I thought it was a little bit unprofessional, but it was humorous. I understand the humor, but get your game out first, then take shots. That's the way I kind of feel about it.
Exactly. But again, you know, I think that developer is pretty confident in its product.
Yeah,
it knows the quality that is put into the products in the past, and so again, I don't think it was a big deal. I think it was just them having a little fun, teasing and poking and prodding, and you know, the executives do it all the time at Microsoft. So I just think people are just kind of taking it to, you know, they're just kind of, I don't know, man. It you know, it used to be all fun and games, and now guys are just really crying and whining about every little thing. Again, the whole boycotting this because they said something I didn't like is, come on, let's get over it. Let's get over it. You lost, take your L's, and you know, live to fight another day.
Yeah, go buy the console. I mean, I said this yesterday on the multiplayer podcast. I said, look, people just need to go buy the damn console and not work. I mean, if you're going to be an early adopter to technology, you're going to have to wait. And according to Phil Juggernaut Head Spencer, to quote One Stop, it's going to be 2 years. I'll just say 2 years. He said 2 to 3, but let's say it's going to be 2 years before you get a I guess, a exclusive game on that platform, which I'm sure will be stunning. It will look fantastic. It may be slap your mama cooking goods, you know. But until they come out with something, you all need to go buy the damn platform. I mean, I'm not buying it. I've got an Xbox One S. It does pretty much the same stuff that this system does. So you all need to go buy it and not worry about nothing else. Go support your platform. Don't boycott developers, because if your boycott works, they're going to announce, okay, well, we understand there was a boycott from one system, and we're only going to develop it for another console. That's it. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. That's what these devs will do. Do not put it past them. They, especially a developer like Bungie, who already got beef with Microsoft. They don't like them. So you don't want to push them into a corner, you know. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but that's the truth. But let me ask you this. Let's see here. All right, let me go back to the Spider-Man. What you saw, would that make you buy it day one, or do you see them possibly, I guess, lowering the scale of the game from what we saw in the analysts at Digital Foundry did?
No, they showed us live gameplay.
Right.
So it is what it is. What you saw is what you're gonna get. There hasn't been a game this generation yet that's been a first party title that has kind of showed us some trickery and then delivered something else. I think Sony has been pretty reliable from that standpoint with some of their games, even starting with Infamous Second Son all the way to Horizon Zero Dawn. So nothing from Sony's track record this generation has led me to believe or be worried about them delivering on what we saw. You know. So I think you can cash that check and send it to the bank. What we saw is what's going to be delivered. Graphic fidelity wise, gameplay wise, I think that game will be a solid 89, 90, if not higher. I mean, it gets a solid 80, just the fact that it's Spider-Man. You know, I think anyone can say that. So it's already starting from a high standpoint, and the gameplay we saw was butter smooth. It looked really good. It was, you know, it almost looked CGI, but that was actually gameplay.
Yeah, and they did confirm that Digital Foundry confirmed that they did the trailer, or whatever you want to call it, the gameplay was pushed down to just show us the action parts. They said you don't have to do exactly what you saw in the video. The helicopter can get away, but you could kind of follow the path of destruction to catch up to it. I mean, this is according to Digital Foundry. I have no idea, but this is according to them. There's just going to be different ways you can you can pursue that. So you do have some QTEs, quick time events, but overall, and they don't know if it's going to be open world, or they don't know yet, because they haven't. That was just what they call, I guess, the quote unquote vertical slice. So. But you got to see the physics in action, and the game did look stunning. It did look stunning. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you that you got a group of people out there that are just, I don't know how else to say this. I have an Xbox, so I'll say this: they're butthurt. So, and I don't know why. They've got their Xbox. They've got the Xbox One Elite. I think that's what it's called. And then they've got the Xbox One S. So it's not like Microsoft's not giving you all the opportunity to go experience their console. It's you all have got to go buy the damn console. At this point, it's no longer up to Microsoft. And all this other stuff, as far as what Jack Reacher said about about the 4K 60 on all these damn games. That's not true. So you all, like Krato said earlier, you all got to go buy the damn console. Okay, when it hits the shelf, November 6th or 7th, whenever you're going to buy it, you're going to have to go buy the system. I mean, that's just, they didn't sell it to me because I was underwhelmed because they got no games for it, So
exactly.
Like you said, Kratos, I mean, they keep talking about Anthem. That shit won't be out for 2 years, and they're showing that on a PC. So that's the game looked good. I'm not here. I can't knock what games look like, but that's a multi-plat game. You all are treating it like a first-party exclusive.
Yeah.
So, you know, like Krato said, bro, go ahead and chime in. They just need to get over this shit, and it's time to move on. Jack Reacher, you can either believe Jack Reacher, you can believe us. And when have we lied to you all? Everything we said to you all has come to fruition.
Yeah.
So
they're fighting a 4-year-old point. They just do not want to concede. It's like, guys, okay, you know, 4 years straight you've been damage controlling. Like it's time to either stop or move on. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I think most PlayStation guys have already conceded that just because of the 6 teraflops that the Xbox One X is going to be more powerful hardware wise. I mean, I think nobody's arguing that. You won that. Okay, fine. It should be more powerful. It's come out a year later.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, will the games show the extra 2 teraflops more? And I think you guys, anyone who saw what they saw at E3, a lot of people were not impressed because the games that really showed the graphical fidelity were running on PC. We expected all of those games to be running on the Xbox One X. Why would you have some games run on the Xbox One X and some not? Why would you have them on PC? I was in a state of shock, and I was so happy to see a game like Metro Exodus running what I thought was on the Xbox One X at the event, at the E3. I was like, man, this game looks good. If this was what this is going to do, I'm all in. But then I find out, you know, it's running on the PC. Why would they do that? Why would you do that? Why? This was your time to sell this console. Yeah. Now you're showing stuff running on PC. Why? I thought this was the mighty beast. This was the 6 teraflops of the juggernaut of a system. Why would you do that? But reality set in, and then it's like, okay, this is some more trickery that Microsoft is doing. So we have yet to see the true the power of this console. So that leaves me with the mindset of to be very skeptical of Microsoft.
Yeah, and I've said before, I'll probably end up getting Cuphead, the Metro game, which which one was it State of Decay or I get them confused because they look the same to me, but I'll get whichever one comes out first. I can't remember if maybe it was State of Decay that comes out first.
All of the games basically come out in 2018. State of Decay 2, the only ones dropping this year is Cuphead, I believe.
Well, yeah, Cuphead, and then the Forza and Crackdown.
Yeah. Crackdown is coming out at launch.
Yeah, Crackdown is that's a day and day. Yeah, that'll be. I'm not gonna buy that unless I see.
Craig, that game was not impressive. Yeah. We've waited 3 years. No wonder they didn't show anything for the past 3 years. And they don't.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. My bad.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you this. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but let me ask you. Just from the Xbox community, do you get a sense of overexcitement, like, wow, can't wait? You know, like we used to be with kids, we couldn't sleep Christmas Eve. Do you get a lukewarm overall reception, kind of like, it's all right? Or do you get an outright flat disappointment? In one of those 3 tiers, it's based on what you observe. I know it's just a small slice, and this is for the chat too. Do you all feel that people are extremely excited, kind of lukewarm, or they're just flat disappointed? And I'll blame disappointment on Jack Reacher. I mean, I can't put that on Microsoft because shout out to Grim Kampachi. He did a real good video a couple days ago, basically saying that you can't blame Microsoft because you overstated what this console was going to be. So everybody needs to go check that channel out. He did a marvelous job with his content on that. But this, in your opinion, this based on what you've seen, and we're both looking at small slices, and people in the chat, just type in, what do you guys think? Happy? You think they're I mean, because I can't. Go ahead, Kratos. I got my own opinion, but go ahead, bro.
I think the majority are kind of let down, but they're trying to save face. I think there's a lot of fake, fake. What do you call it? You're trying to save face, and it's it's just a lot of guys are just, they're faking it when it comes to, yeah, I'm happy and excited for this machine, but you can tell every day by the tweets and the videos, these guys are worried. I think that price of $499 really made them worry a lot. A lot of guys are in this whole debacle for totally different reasons. Some YouTuber guys, they make their YouTube lives and careers off of this, of the Xbox, trying to succeed and stuff. So they have a lot of skin in the game, but you have others that, they hate the fact that they've been playing the inferior product, and they've been taking L's because they're emotionally invested in this quote unquote console war. But for everyone else, I think they're going to take a wait and see approach, kind of like me. I'm just going to do a wait and see. Let's see, whenever the games come out in 2018, I'll be there for those that push me to get one. But for the rest, I'll just play it on PC. And for the majority of the guys, I think the Xbox One S will just be enough to tie them over into next generation, because they have the Xbox One S. It's been satisfying them this far, and they don't have a 4K TV.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing that everybody's got to remember. You got to marry this to something else. Even if you have an Xbox One S, if you really want to see it in its glory with the upscaling, and it does, I've got backwards compatible games on mine, and I got 3, but they do look better. But that's because it's got an upscaler in it. My TV upscales as well. So, and I just think that you all have really underestimated how well the upscaling technique in the Xbox One S is. So, and that's you all's fault. That's not Microsoft's fault. Now, you can argue they could have it's hard to market that, however, without you seeing it. That's the problem I think people are having right now. That's why, you got people like a Cycle Gamer who's literally saying, well, the games are going to look better, therefore the game is better. It's like it's the same damn game, and there's more content on the PlayStation. So what's truly better? And if they're releasing for the same price and you don't got the content, you may have to wait, in some cases, 6 months to a year. Now, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but if you are a content creator, what version are you going to buy? The one with all the bells and whistles? You're going to have to wait another 9 to 10 months. I mean, that's just a basic question. What are you going to do? And, which leads me to the opening of the podcast of what happened. Okay, we heard 4K 60. We heard Vega Ryzen CPU. We heard, oh, hell, what else did we hear? It was going to make 900p games be 4K.
4K, yeah.
Yeah, native, and they're not doing that. Now, I don't care. And me and Kratos have sat here and told you the sweet spot. 1440p 60 is the sweet spot. You can do high or ultra settings, whatever you want to put on your hot dog is fine. But this is for the Xbox community. Anybody that can explain to myself and Kratos what happened is more than welcome to join the podcast. So, and that's what else is there except for you guys? Or you can join the podcast and say, look, I said one thing. I'm here to man up. I give Psycho a little bit of credit because he at least manned up a little bit last week, and give him credit. But I ain't heard nothing from Widowmaker. I'm still waiting on him for what happened. So, and that's just shout out to him. There's no beef there. Just either man up and say, I got this wrong. They still support the console. I love it. Support the brand. But what happened? 4K 60 is not happening, folks. They can't get 4K 60 on their first party shit. So why you think third party people are going to bend over backwards to give them that? And even let's just say Star Wars Battlefront. Kratos, let's say it's 4K native 60. It's everything they said it was going to be. There's still going to be more content on the competing console. And which one do you think people are going to buy? The one with Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren, or the one that ain't got those?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just asking a basic consumer question at that point.
And,
so,
yeah, you're right.
What happened?
Well, the fact that, you know, Sony has all the marketing deals, so all the DLC and all the great content comes out on their platform. And let's not forget these custom consoles that are coming out, these themed consoles that are going to sell like hotcakes. It's going to make it a hard sell to tell someone, hey, well, at least it's 4K, you know, 60 or 30 on this one. And I don't know, man. I just don't see a compelling argument for waiting to buy it on that platform versus the one you already have in your house. You know, it's just it is what it is. No matter what platform you get it on, Battlefront is going to look beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Now, which one is going to be the definitive edition? I think for most people, they're going to say whichever one I can spend $60 and get the most content on, that's the one I'm going to buy. Versus the one that, you know, the spec says it's 4K 60. You know, I just haven't seen it. You know, no facts have come out that says it's going to run anything different on the X than the Pro. So until we start seeing a lot of this parity shake out, it's not gonna matter. It's not. At the end of the day, Spider-Man, God of War, Days Gone, all of that stuff is going to overshadow the multiplats. I hate to say it. That's, you know, at the end of the day, those games are the ones that you can only find them on one platform. Why go out and buy two consoles when you can just get one and it runs everything, the exclusives and the multiplats and everything else in between?
Yeah, that's a great consumer question. I mean, if you can just get one that does everything or not. I mean, I understand the Xbox X is for they quote unquote hardcore. And I'm not here to say that it's not. Like I said, I hope people go out and support it. I mean, I'm really trying to find out who is going to go buy it. You know, first 2 months it's out. You know, Christmas season comes out right during Christmas season, November 7th. That's a pretty good spot to be in for this console. I wish it came out mid-October, but all right, before Halloween. Yeah. Price, man, that's horse hockey. I can't do that. So, I can't, not for what I've seen. So not for what I've seen. And people are talking about, okay, let's just say this whole thing is true about Titanfall 2. The game is over a year old by the time this update hits. And the console won't be out till November. So you can't play this game until November 7th. And I'm not here to say that it won't do it. Like I said,
wait, Craig. Craig. Titanfall 2 is the game that the Xbox guys boycotted. Remember? They boycotted because it wasn't coming out on their system only. It wasn't an exclusive like the first one was. They decided to boycott it. And now all of a sudden they want to play it and they want to support it and buy it because it's, internally it runs at 6, or it'll be rendered internally on the CPU and GPU at 6K, even though the output is going to be dynamic resolution or checkerboarded. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I certainly hope it does do it. I would love to see a game running like that, but I already beat that game. That game was hard. There was a part on there where you had to jump from like building to building. This shit was hard as hell, or move the cranes around so you could get around it was ridiculous. So, but it was, I beat it, so I think I beat it on that horrible Xbox One. So like my first, I've had like 2 Xbox Ones. I had the Jolly Green Giant one, and I had the Xbox One S. So people are like, well, and my password or whatever, my created thing on the Xbox, the old Xbox, isn't the same as this one. So that's, but nevertheless, I would just like to know what happened, I'm this, so anybody that has an Xbox who thought everything was going to be 4K 60 is more than welcome to hit me up and we will get you into the chat. So,
Craig,
go ahead.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but those guys who touted that for the last couple of years, you notice you haven't seen any more of those purple M's, right? All of that is gone.
Yeah.
They've quietly went away and removed their logos, and now they're just sitting back quietly. And I mean, you rarely even see any Xbox guys anymore. That's just really weird.
I didn't even think about that crazy looking symbol. I've never, which means to me they're disappointed in the system. And that's what I get. I get an overall sense of it's not what these idiots were led to believe. And shout out to the guys on that podcast last night, because one of them said, because people believe their favorite YouTuber and they didn't believe the actual source material that was right there in front of them. Well, that's not Microsoft's fault. You got to blame the people who took it and tried to run with it. And now I can't say they don't have any games. They're really expecting everybody to just run and buy the games, because the narrative from the Xbox community has been the only reason why we got outsold is because the games looked and they ran better, which is not true, but you can't talk to them about it anymore. It's time to move on. It's time to take Jack Reacher down,
Exactly.
So, but as you can see, no Xbox person wants to come in here and tell us what happened.
Well, we know what happened. The reality set in, and it's these guys live in a alternate reality with a hope. These guys even talk so much crap about the PC guys. Oh, your days are numbered, Mr. PC guy, Mr. PC elitist. Your days are numbered. You spend all that money, and we're gonna be able to get 4K 60 ultra settings, and I know this because I have stock in AMD, and it's going to be a Ryzen and a Vega and all of this crap, and none of the stuff is true. We should have known when Digital Foundry got their hands on that white sheet and started talking about sparse rendering. We should have knew from then that this system was not going to do what it was proclaimed to gonna be done. So checkerboarded, dynamic. The fact that Microsoft had to create a brand new term that is not even an industry term. If you go to your Best Buy and if you go to, ask any other manufacturer or developer, what is true 4K? They're gonna say, we don't know. That's not in the dictionary. Microsoft created that. And under that umbrella, like you said, Craig, shout out to you. It's dynamic, it's checkerboard, it's native, it's everything in between. And so with that, they are declaring victory because they coined the term true 4K, and they threw anything that their system could possibly do, and they threw it under the kitchen sink, and they're running with it.
That's amazing. I mean, that's all I can say is that, wow. Yeah. I mean, I think it's pathetic, Yeah. I tell you what's funny. This on Twitter with the Forza 7, the hands-on impressions. That's the same Porsche that they showed at the Microsoft thing. I think that's the exact same car that they unveiled at the thing, and to take your mind off of $499. So
yeah. That's the old bait and switch.
Look at this, and you don't have to worry about $499.99. And I guess, look, if $499 for what you're getting, for me, I can't gin it up. But hey, look, if they have some type of trade-in deal, and then somebody wants to take care of the rest of it, I'll get one. I mean, like I've said to people before, but I can't do it. Not when I've got Aloy coming out. She's got more adventures and this year, and Uncharted. Oh yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I did put this in the thing. What did you see the Uncharted demo, and what did you think about it?
I did. It was always going to be a day one buy for me. I mean, when they first showed us that game at PlayStation Experience, I believe that's when they showed it. We couldn't figure out what game that was, and when we finally seen Nadine and those ladies, it's just a fact. It's going to be a day one buy. And so what we saw at E3 really didn't change my mind. I mean, they just showed me, more greatness, more of what I had already known to expect. I think Uncharted is that game even if they didn't show anything, if the next Uncharted comes out and they don't show you any gameplay, they just stick Uncharted whatever, Uncharted 5 on the label, it's still going to sell 10 million copies because people just, they know what to expect from Naughty Dog. They don't have to see it. You just know it's going to be great.
Somebody in the chat told Halo Storm that how's he getting a signal from a bread loaf factory? Yeah, Halo Storm said he wants to do a one-on-one with me. Come in here and do it now. I mean, you don't have to wait. Come do it now. So
yeah, but you can't troll. You got to come with some facts, and you got to come and do it right now. Don't come and just try to troll and make weird noises and say some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and if you say the whole thing on the whole Respawn thing, I'm like, okay, when Respawn proper, meaning the whole company, comes out behind that statement, people should run with it then. Because the same guy that broke that also broke that Project Cars was 4K native, and he had to pull it back. So I mean, I'm not here to say it's not true, but it's, and it's been picked up by multiple sites, so it probably is true. Yeah. But until Respawn comes out and says, yes, this is true, this is a true leak, blah blah blah, that's fine. So I can't really roll with that, and I'm not going to run with that. That's crazy. Yeah. So that is crazy. And I think people are picking it up because they are literally trying to this is my opinion. Let me ask you this, Kratos. Every time a 4K game is announced, whether 4K with a true 4K, whatever, all right, the Xbox community runs to really put that out fast because they're disappointed in the system.
Facts.
Okay,
Facts.
Okay, that's my opinion. They are disappointed, so they're constantly coming up saying that what was that one, the Lord of the Rings game? Is it Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor, yeah.
Now, is that 4K native, or is it going to fall into Xbox enhanced?
Now that game is running right now. The first game, the Shadow of Mordor, is currently running at 4K native on the PlayStation 4 Pro. So again, originally it ran at 4K 60. Why wouldn't the sequel run at 4K 60? I don't know. That's not, it's kind of like saying Forza is running at 4K 60. Well, duh, all of the games have ran at 60 frames and the top resolution on the system. So I'm not impressed. Maybe that's just me. I'm not impressed at something that ran at that. That's just what you come to expect. If it didn't, I'd wonder, well, the original game ran at this. Why isn't the sequel running at that? But I'll concede. Okay, well, it hasn't been proven that the PlayStation 4 Pro will run at anything less than that as well. So you got to keep that in mind. These guys will take any article or any news that comes out that says something's going to run at 4K 60 on their platform, but they will white out or they will not tell you what it's going to run on the Pro. And so if the Xbox One X does come out with a ton of games that run at 4K 60 on that platform, and if you find out those same games run at 4K 60 on the Pro, is that impressive? Or will that just cancel each other out? I mean, we're looking for a two teraflop difference. We're looking for that in the fidelity and the game. We're looking for that, the difference between the Pro. And so far, we haven't seen that big of a difference. We just haven't. And we're looking for that.
Not to interrupt you. He's saying it's not running at 60. I mean, again, me and Kratos have said I'd rather have 1440p 60, but 4K 30 for me is fine. I never thought we see today were 4K. Again, that's fine if it's 4K native 30. So yeah, so it's not 60. So here's another multi-plat game that Jack Reacher told you something different that me and Kratos said you need to look at this. So I mean, again, this is nuts. Okay, this is nuts. So it's I feel bad for you all who believe Jack Reacher. Okay, and one of them is reported about the Respawn thing. So Yeah, so Obi John saying the first game was 30 as well. So yeah, and Digital Foundry did say that if the game was originally 30, I guess on the other system it would be 30 this time. It should be more stable. You know, I guess they can't, but I'm not for sure how that works. If it's the CPU is the problem. It's the problem with the Pro.
The same problem with the Pro. It's the same Jaguar CPU. Yeah. I don't care how customized you. It ain't that custom. It's still a Jaguar. Just because you overclocked it by 200 megahertz, it's not gonna change anything. That's just the facts. Craig has already given you the breakdown 3 months ago of that, and you guys still act like it's rising in Vega, and I guess you guys are gonna continue to hold the line.
Well, yeah, but you were there too. I mean, you flat said it more than likely wouldn't be because the Ryzen. Well, there's the chip right there in my avatar. I'm looking right at it. So that's what the Ryzen looks like, folks, and that's not in the Xbox. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just it ain't. So you know, Halo Storm wants a link to the podcast. I'm like, well, if you're gonna come in here and tell us what happened with the 4K thing with Jack Reacher, fine. But if you're just gonna come in here and be an idiot, you know, or act silly, it can't happen this Friday night, and I'm trying to, you know, I'm going out tonight. So, you know, so I'm not gonna let you spoil my mood. So, but no, I just so we all know Spider-Man is running the temporal injection thing. I guess it keeps the sharpness on the edges. We had talked about that. My God, you know, Project Cars that having to be repulled. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, I probably won't buy it because I'll be on Forza. I may get the Forza 7, I guess. Is it 6 or 7? Or Gran Turismo. I'm going to get one of those two. I don't know. They're both drivers.
Yeah, well, there's a new article out. I think I shared it to you, Craig. The guys have come out, and basically they gave their impression of Forza 7. And while some aspects they're impressed, it's more of the same. And compared to GT Sport and Project Cars, it left them very underwhelmed in the graphics department.
Really?
Yes.
In the graphics department?
In the graphics department. Again, what you guys, I can't state this enough. Just because something is in 4K does not make the graphics of the game look any better. It just makes the texture sharper. And it makes it more clear. That's it. That you still haven't changed the fundamentals of the game. And like they said, it's still Forza 6 at heart. It's it's Forza Apex that's on PC. It is what it is. But they did say the lighting, the textures, and everything else on GT Sport was just a different class of its own. Whether GT Sport is doing native 4K 60 or not, it's about the artistry. It's about the quality of the pictures and the textures and stuff like that. It's about the artwork. And Sony is proven to have their first party games are far and beyond anything, regardless of what resolution you run it on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and Savage Juger, he's saying that it's a Spider-Man's on a 4K buffer. So according to Microsoft, Spider-Man is true 4K.
Fact.
Yeah, that's a fact. You're right. I mean, we said that earlier before the green interruption, but yeah, you're right. I mean, that's why they can say they're going to have 60 to 70 4K games because they're up. Sony doesn't see. Here's the difference. Sony is literally telling you these games are dynamically or checkerboarded, so they're not going to count it as 4K proper versus Microsoft, who's saying, yeah, it's the same shit. Now, who's the two black men that told you guys in the chat this is what Microsoft was going to have to do? It's us. We told you this.
Yeah.
We told you this. So all these people who are running around saying that it's going to be all this fine. What happened? That's all we're asking you right now. What happened? Okay, because once the Xbox got released, and shout out to Randall Thor, but once the Xbox got released, there was a podcast where there were 10 Xbox guys doing damage control.
Yeah.
So why aren't they talking about the game?
Yeah.
That's what you have to ask yourself. Why are they not talking about the games? You know, and Halo Storm, you bragged about, is it down? Am I saying it? Is it super sampling or down sampling?
Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't Microsoft at E3, which like J-Dub told me, he kept it real. Craig, you're gonna have to skip game 5 because this is a Super Bowl of gaming. You know, so I had to put that to task because he's right. But ask yourselves, everybody in the chat, ask yourselves this. If super sampling, I hope I'm saying that right, if that's so good, why didn't Microsoft show you any games in that running 1080p super sample? Because at least Sony showed you God of War on the OG PS4. You know, like it or not, that's what happened. So why didn't they show us this running? I mean, on a 1080p TV, saying this is what super sampling is going to look like.
Yes.
The reason they didn't is because it's not going to make that big a deal. I mean, I went to the Microsoft store today, and that guy flat said, if you've got a monitor with the V-Sync, because the Scorpio, that's what I'm going to call it, the Scorpio does V-Syncing, it will make a difference. But if you just have there may be some TVs on market that do V-Sync. I'm not for sure. So, yeah. But if you have a monitor that does that, difference. Because your 1080p monitor with V-Sync marries that, and you'll get that upscale. Not on your regular TV, though, Halo Storm. That's what you are forgetting. And that's what I would have said to you when you came in here. You wouldn't have been able to answer that.
Yep.
Okay, so. Hey,
shout out to OBJ, man. He said $500 for better sand textures on multiplats. I'll pass.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Yeah, OBJ, you gotta hopefully you get everything working, man. I gotta get you in here, man, because you be kicking the straight up strongman facts, you know.
Oh yeah, man.
So,
yeah, man.
You know, Halo Storm's talking. Now we're talking about Direct DX12. I mean, are you gonna say
man?
Look, Halo Storm, the system is out.
Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah, EJ Johnson said the Culver Butter Burgers is good. Oh hell yeah, that's a damn good sandwich right there.
Oh yeah, Culver's, man. Man.
Yeah, so you can't I already know the answer. So I don't ask questions I don't know the answers to already, man. That's an old law trick.
Yeah.
You know, those lawyers, they ask you on TV, they like, oh, this is a surprise. Though they ask you questions they already know the answers to. So yeah, you're right, Ludov. Shout out to Ludov702. You don't have to protect your Xbox. We know what it can do because we just saw it at E3.
Yeah.
You know, so
well, here's the thing. For all the specs that they showed on the spec sheet, the 312 gigabytes of bandwidth and 12 gigs of GDDR5 and all 6 teraflops, we did not see any of that at E3. We did not see anything that made our jaw drop that said the PlayStation 4 could not run this. But yet on Sony stage, we saw a shitload of games that we can point fingers and say, well, this cannot run on that platform because these guys have worked miracles in getting these things to look this good. So it's I don't know, man. The fact that they had God of War running on a 1.86 teraflop system looking that good with that graphical fidelity shows me there's probably about 4 teraflops of crap on the Xbox X that is not getting utilized or is just will never get taken advantage of.
Yeah. OBJ said that Nintendo will have more 60 FPS games than Sony and Xbox. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a fact. Yeah, you can't. Nobody can touch Nintendo's first party stuff. You may not like it, and that's fine. But there's nothing out on market like it. So, like I said, I'm waiting on Donkey Kong. If you see a black man running over kids at the store on the news, it's because they released Donkey Kong, I knocked some kids on over.
Exactly.
Oh, now Halo Storm's talking about if you speak facts and you shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't be so afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it. We saw what the console could do. Okay,
we weren't impressed.
And I'm not. Yeah, I'm underwhelmed. I'm impressed with the tech. But now EJ's talking about Steak and Shake. Yeah, that's good too. So, yeah, I'm underwhelmed because they didn't have any first party games. That's what I'm underwhelmed for. If you're expecting, I guess you're expecting the communities to just move because it's more powerful and the games are going to look better. And like OBJ said, yeah, you know, the glasses may be shinier, the sand may be a little bit cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to get me, but everybody's different.
It boils down to this, Craig. It ultimately boils down to this. If you're a PlayStation owner, and if you're an Xbox owner, did you see $500 worth of difference between what you currently play and what you could be playing in November? And that's basically what it boils down to, $500. Even if you got an Xbox One X, Xbox One S,
yeah,
your same games that's coming out is coming out on your platform. If you have a 1080p TV, you're probably gonna be looking at the best that you can actually get that game to look right now with the system you have. If you don't have an Xbox, go get you a $199 Xbox One S and play the games that they have on that if that's what you want to. But to spend $500, another $500. Keep in mind now, I'm going to put in perspective. Originally, the Xbox One came out at $500. Now they're asking you to spend another $500. How did that work out for you the last time? If you were not impressed, if you have been damage controlling for 4 years, why would you put yourself in that position? You could go and buy you a PlayStation 4 Pro and a Nintendo Switch and have all the exclusives you want, including Spider-Man and Mario, and just have the best of both worlds. Didn't what's this guy, the analyst, Michael Pachter, he said that exact same thing. He's who I got it from. He said for $500, you can go get both platforms. You can go get you a Switch and a Pro and just have a system with the exclusives and the multi-plats.
Facts.
And if you have a PC, you really won't miss out on anything. So I just don't think Microsoft sold us on $500. They didn't show us anything that we couldn't have on the current platform that we have now. So specs aside, I mean, if guys want to argue about specs, you can argue all day long. Nothing's going to be the PC. So if you're a PC guy, you already, you're sitting where you need to be. But even if you have a PC, guess what? You won't be playing that Spider-Man, buddy. You won't be playing that God of War. You won't be playing Days Gone or any of the other Sony exclusives. So guess what? You're forced to go out and buy you a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro. And this is why exclusives matter. You cannot discount the exclusives. Just because the Xbox guys did not support their exclusives does not mean that multi-plats is the only reason you buy a console. No, that is not the case.
Yeah, they now let me ask you, what is an L2? Is it cache or cache?
Cache, L2 cache. It's just a faster way to move information from within the CPU from place to place. That's all. None of that stuff means anything to any of us gamers. It really doesn't. It's a spec sheet title when you're looking at CPUs. That's all that matters. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many megs of cache that system has. What they showed us on that screen, if you were not impressed, it doesn't matter how many teraflops you have. It doesn't matter how much memory you have. It doesn't matter how big the bus is. It doesn't matter how much L2 and L1 and L3 cache you have. It doesn't matter. It's all about the software.
Yeah. Now they're saying that damn, well, I lost my train of thought there. All right, so let me ask you. All right, here we go. The technical analysis for Days Gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now what did you think about that as far as they were showing all the different stuff? And my question is where's this dude getting the gas for his motorcycle?
Well, keep in mind
like
now,
Grand Theft Auto, where we just drive endlessly.
Exactly. No, they said you're going to have to be mindful of your gas. So what he has to do, he has to find broken down cars and siphon gas out of that into his motorcycle. So because you don't want to run out of gas and be stranded, because then those freakers will come out and then you're gonna die. So you have to, you have to maintain your motorcycle. You have to make sure gas is put in and stuff like that. So it has some RPG elements in there in that respect.
Yeah. Oh, they sold that to me because I remember when me, you, and the General, Supersonic Wolf. I'm like, look, they got to show some gameplay because I'm not a big zombie guy. The best zombie game I've ever played was Resident Evil 2. That I thought was sensational. I mean, they've not touched that game. The pure adrenaline rush, they haven't been able to copy that. So, but with that said, if these zombies are going to move like the ones in World War Z, I will buy this game, because that to me is like, if I were to make a zombie movie, that's what I would have done, was what they did in World War Z. But like, you know what? They're going to have to move a lot faster than the people, because what's the point? So
exactly.
But that's me. I know I'm different. So Halo Storm is saying that I don't know what else to ask him. He keeps saying I asked a question, and I didn't ask no questions. Look,
until he comes up with a reason why you don't see any more guys with the purple M's in their names, and how do they feel about having overhyped the Xbox One X, and then come to E3, and then you find out it's doing checkerboard and it's doing dynamic and all of the stuff that the Pro did that it got bashed for. Now, you make it seem like all that stuff is, the best thing since sliced bread. It's that humble pie. You're going to have to eat that humble pie. And I think a lot of guys are doing it now.
Shout out to Black Bond, because he said on Weapon Wheel that that press conference was a giant serving of crow.
It was.
For a lot of these corporate slaves and fanboys. But they've so they're asking him a bunch of computer questions, and now Halo Storm can't answer. Talk about, I know how to drive a car, I don't know how the parts work. Well, that's fine, Halo Storm. It's all right to admit what we don't know. I mean, I have no idea how I'm gonna put this computer together. I'm just gonna be like, all right, this looks like this is where this goes, So,
yeah.
So but yeah, I'll have a general idea, because I'll watch a lot of builds online and go for it. I may have to give a shout out to D Batch, because he said he built 2 or 3 computers this week, because he said he was just rolling, but yeah, I mean, it's trying to see if somebody Guardian Legends called it. Yeah, Xbox One L. I mean, look, I don't know what else to say about the thing. I looked at it and I'm like, all right, I'm already skeptical about it. But I got an Xbox One S, and I needed to see something that was going to move me. And if all you showed was multi-plat, which that's what they show, whether you have to get them on PC or you can get them somewhere else, there's no reason for people to do it. I mean, not for me, for me to do it. But if somebody wants to buy me one, I got no problem. That's fine. Someone wants to send it to me. Hey, that's fine. I have no problem. So I will load that thing up and I will play on it. But like I said, I'll be playing Mass Effect on it. It's gonna be the same game. This is what I emailed BioWare, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna look the same on the Xbox One S as it does on the Xbox One X." There's no change going in, so it still looks good though, because you got a 4K TV. So yeah, Halo Storm's right. Pokemon is not coming out this year. I don't think any game they show what, maybe 3 games coming out this year at E3, Nintendo. I don't think Pokemon was one of them. So yeah, Cousin Curveball saying that Pokemon's on the Switch will outsell everything. Yeah, that's true. I'm pulling a BG. No, I like BG's stuff. I mean, I think he does a real good job. So, and it's hard to create and then control a podcast like that. So, because the way it has to move around. So, but yeah, so shout out to those guys. That's, like I said, that's one of my favorite, podcasts, that's out. That's my guilty pleasure. So, yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any other questions for us here. And there's nothing. I mean, I didn't ask any of. I already know what the Xbox One X can do. It's just I'm asking people in the Xbox community to go. We both have said go support it. We told you all months ago what they were more likely were going to do because of just based on deductive reasoning and price of things. But we got called haters. We got called all this stuff, you know. So, you know, we're the beast is coming and whatever you want to say, you know. So,
well, you know, this is how I end any argument. The facts are there. The people speak with their wallets. No matter how much you try to damage control or how much you try to overhype, you know, a platform, a game, or whatever, the people speak with their wallets, and the masses say, "I like this over that." And you know, once the Xbox One X come out, we'll see. Until then, I guess the best platform to own will be the one that's selling the most. And that is the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, Halo. You're right. And yeah, and it's selling what? It's only selling. It's 1 out of 5. Yeah, so it's only 20% of the market, which actually matches the adoption rate of 4K TVs. And I said that last night on the multiplayer podcast to Zaire.
Yeah.
He asked me, I'm like, look, they ought to be able to match what is out there. That's good. He asked me about the Xbox X outselling the Pro. I'm like, as long as it matches the consumer buy rate is what you're going for.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yoshida has already said that the PlayStation 4 Pro had been outselling the regular PlayStation.
Really? I thought they said 1 out of 5.
No. I will provide that article with Yoshida saying that. Now, this could be a couple of months old, but he did say that when he asked him how was it doing. Now, keep in mind just the sheer volume of original PlayStations and PlayStation Slims out there. Obviously, the Pro is going to be the smaller number. But at that point in time, when he did that article, he came out, obviously they won MPD, and he said, yeah, you know, we're at the point where the Pro actually outsold the regular PlayStation 4 Slim. So,
yeah, now wait a minute. Somebody wants to know, all right, they're asking us questions. They wanted to know what my favorite color was. I put orange. So now they want to know what your favorite color is.
Purple.
All right, like Prince, Purple Rain. And
Rain.
Halo Storm, look, I am not a hater. I don't understand. If I have the console and I play like 5 or 6 games on it, probably more than that, how am I a hater? I mean, I have the console, you know, so I mean, I just don't know what else to say to you. Yeah. You know, the new console's coming out. There's nothing to damage control. A bunch of people lied about it. I mean, they lied. I mean, it's one thing to say, it's one thing to speculate and say I'm speculating, but to say this shit was going to be in it, it was going to do this before the games hit. Like I said, the punch in the face was the punch in the face to me was the Destiny reveal, but the punch in the groin, oh, thanks for that, was the Crackdown. If your first party guys can't do 60 FPS on that console, why the hell would the third party people bend over backwards and spread their cheeks for you?
Facts.
So I have the console. That doesn't mean anything. All right, Halo Storm, let me tell you what having something means. It means as a consumer, you can critique it. If I told you I went and saw that horrible Transformers movie and it was dog shit, straight trash, I could tell you that because I physically sat through 2 hours and 31 minutes of that trash. So don't tell me just because you buy something, you must think that you automatically should come out and cape for it. That's not true. That's not what grown-ups do. But I understand you're 19. And when I was 19 and was playing on my Tandy 1000 EX, I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. As a matter of fact, I knew nothing was better than this until the Tandy 1000 X or whatever it came, a D something came out, and it blew that away. It's like, well, it's over for this, you know, for this, and it was a PC. So, and you know, so it's just Sony was now LaMarcus Dawson saying Sony was the first to bring 4K to console.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, the Sony also had a laser disc that I bought that flat out was garbage. I bought Jaws, Blue Thunder, Pumpkinhead, and went to go buy more, and that shit was gone.
Well, the fact that it was too expensive and CDs finally came out at a third or fourth of the cost. I mean, obviously that was a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and Sony invented both of those. So they put themselves out of business. This is why I said to Next Gen last week that Sony is, Microsoft's biggest competitor for the Xbox One X is the Xbox One, because you can go buy the same shit and play the same games in the same ecosystem online with the same people for cheaper. Now, I mean, that's just the reality of the situations.
Facts.
So yeah, I own an Xbox One, so it's I mean, you can hit me up on it. Situated Spoon 26. So now my Xbox Live does run out on July 6th. Yeah, on July 6th. I will not be on that Xbox Live after July 6th. But like I said, I got Elite Dangerous. Nobody wants to play Elite Dangerous with me. So, which is sad, because that's the only game like that on the Xbox. And you all don't support it. So,
Well, Craig, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
They've been showing this Sea of Thieves now for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and it's going to release in 2018. What did you think right after them showing that? Was it Ubisoft came out with the Skull? Is it Skull and Bone? Yeah, Skull and Bones game that looks a heck of a lot more interesting. Way better graphically. And it looks like, more fun and better gameplay. What did you think about that? Do you think that game there would render the Sea of Thieves kind of, a little bit on the light side?
To me, it does, but it looks like it's catering to two different audiences. The Sea of Thieves actually looks like something that you would play on the Switch.
Yeah,
Like if you could take that on the go, I think that would be big, because that's something you could just go outside and play, or something like that, or take it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a Switch. I just think that would be a better mobile type game. The Skull and Bones, that if that works out, and that's anything like Sid Meier's Pirates game that came out in the 80s, like 85, I think 85, 86. If it's similar to that, and you throw in the how it looks like that Assassin's Creed shit, that's something I may get behind. A lot of people think Ubisoft had the best conference at E3, and I can't deny that Need for Speed. See, I would buy Need for Speed, the one that they showed, the new one, before I bought Forza. But I'm a Need for Speed fan. That's kind of that's an adrenaline game for me. But that looked pretty cool. You take a little bit of Gran Turismo, a little bit of Fast and Furious. But yeah, what did you think about it? I just thought one game had skeletons coming out of the ground shooting, and the other one had the other one,
exactly.
looked better. That's all I can say. So the other one looked like more catered to me. Now, a young kid, I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with Sea of Thieves. Excuse me, it very well could be a hit, for all I know. I hope it does. Yeah, somebody else had a question in here, and it went past me. Yeah, Cousin Curveball saying, do console fanboys even realize their consoles are made of PC parts? Yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, I can't deny that. That's exactly what they're made of. So, I mean, they even said the Pro. You have people saying that the Pro is like a 4 or 5 year old PC. But if the games are rendering at 1440, I mean, that's what you all really don't understand how good resolution 1440p is, running on medium to high settings. That looks good, so, and that's what you're getting with the Pro. But that's what they came out and said, so.
But I mean, at the end of the day, the Pro has 4K native games, it has checkerboarded games, it has 60 frames per second games, it has 30 frames per second games. That is what the Xbox One X is giving you. So I failed to see the difference. I failed to see why I need to go spend $500. They don't have the games there. They don't have exclusives. They don't have must-have games. So they're totally relying on third-party games. So again, where's that value for $500?
And let me ask you this, you know, because it's almost 7. I know it's 6 your time. Oh, you're in Canada, so are you on Eastern time now?
Yeah, it's Eastern time.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let me ask you this then. Do you think, because somebody else, and shout out to Jimmy B Gaming, you all go check out his stream, sub to his channel. He said something in a podcast either yesterday or today. He said that Microsoft, in his opinion, and I want your opinion on this, has chosen not to compete with Sony, but to coexist with Sony. He said that's why they're wanting, I guess, cross-play and things like that. So he said you don't ask for stuff like that if you're trying to compete to put somebody out of business. So what's your opinion on, do you feel, based on what we know now, because we know everything now, do you feel that Microsoft is just trying to coexist with Sony?
No, I think what they're trying to do, they need a handout. They need some help. And so they want Sony's help, and Sony won't give it to them. And see, here's the thing. Microsoft doesn't know what it's trying to do. You don't realize you're competing in this space, whether you like it or not. You're competing. And why would you ask your competitor for a handout? This is, you know, this is one thing that makes me frustrated with Microsoft. They can't instill consumer confidence in them because they don't know what they want to do. A person likes confidence. They like to know that when you spend this money, you're investing in this ecosystem. It's strong. It's hard. It'll be there for the future, for years to come. Microsoft, you don't know. These guys say, no, we're not going to give you these type of games because they just don't make sense. And then they turn around and flip flop once the people have, you know, some rage about it, and they go backwards. They tell you they're not going to do this, and then they turn around and do it. So they have zero credibility from me. So if I was Sony, I would be worried of them too. These guys are constantly trying to change the industry because they failed to find a footing in this generation. I think Microsoft is still flip-flopping and like a wet fish on the floor. They don't know. They're trying to find their footing, and so they're testing all kind of stuff, trying to see what sticks. Sony and Nintendo are the only companies that have a footing, and they're going to tell you what they're going to give you, and they just deliver on it. The folks are asking for games, and these guys are worried about hardware. The hardware war is over. That was over 2 years ago. Yeah. The people spoke when it comes to the hardware. You can't make up the whole 1080p era was won by the original PlayStation 4. That's over with. You need to stop, concede that, and focus. You know, I guess in some essence they have already. They've said, well, forget it. We're just going to focus on the 4K. But they're not even superior in that aspect. They're not even delivering that. So they're only matching Sony. And that's probably not enough for a lot of people. You know, and even let's say the Xbox One X pick up some steam. Well, right around the door, you have PlayStation 5, and where that's going to leave them right back in the same situation. So I just don't know. As Sony, I will be weary about Microsoft and extending a hand with them. Sony is relying on their exclusives as a selling bargain on why people in the Xbox arena can look across the aisle and see all these great games that you can only play on the PlayStation. So they're forcing those players to go out and buy a PlayStation in order to play those games. Microsoft doesn't have anything to hold on to. They've given up all their games. Their games are on PC, Xbox, and probably coming to the Switch next.
Yeah, I've like I said, I just don't know what people are expecting. I mean, if you're going to talk about 4K textures and that's fine. I'm not for sure what that does to me. I mean, it's going to look, I guess, a little bit better. It'll pop, but I mean, you can even, you can even set your TV so that, you can, it's just, you all really don't understand how the technology is working. So they've, and I'm not here to say that it won't be any better or any worse, but I did not see enough at that presser to move me. Now maybe they announced something else as well. Yo, Halo Wars 2 does have DLC out, by the way. If you have Halo Wars 2, I suggest that DLC because I'll probably end up buying that and then and just playing that offline. You know, so that's probably the next thing I buy because I did like Halo Wars. So, but they've yeah, somebody said Forza Horizon 3 ain't that old. Yeah, I've got that. That game is 1080p 30, and it's considered better by the Forza people than the
people are saying
Forza
it's not.
6.
People are
6.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, people are saying it's not that old. That game came out last year, like freaking what, August, September last year. That's a long time. Yeah, and the Hot Wheels is just a DLC for the game, so that's not a whole new game. It's an old game. Anything from last year, guys, let's stop it. If you're still talking about last year games and year before that game, stop it.
Yeah,
Sony.
Unless you want to wax nostalgia with me about Mass Effect, that's fine. Now, Halo Storm did say Mass Effect 2 was good. I'm like, yeah, all the Mass Effect games were good. Well, I didn't care for Andromeda. You all know my point on that. Oh, Kratos, did you ever beat that game?
Which one?
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Which one? You broke up.
Oh, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah. I finally beat that, man.
Okay, what'd you think about it?
I was impressed. Maybe I didn't see all of the bad things that everybody was complaining about. I just played the game. I enjoyed the story, and I enjoyed beating it. And I don't know, maybe I'm a different gamer. I just didn't, I went in because everyone was yelling and screaming about all this stuff and the animations and all this crap, and I just went in playing the story, tuned into the game, and I just didn't see what they were seeing. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to it, but I don't know, man. Again, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Now, who did you end up romancing in there?
Oh man. Damn it! I need to go back. I don't know the name. Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back in. I'll let you know the name.
Yeah, all right. Because they did change some stuff. That people are now saying they had
a new update. Yeah, they had a new patch that they have. Now, here's the weird thing, man. A couple of times, a couple of guys came on to me, and I kind of threw me back. I was like, I guess I answered the wrong question.
Yeah, that was available. Yeah, they basically were saying, yeah, this is going to be there. Like if you use a female, you can hook up with that navigator, Suvi.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they changed it because they allegedly said it's changed, So, but I don't know if you can go ahead and change it. But yeah, I romanced PB, So and I went back in and was going to romance the the other girl that's with you. So, but I stopped playing because I got mad, So I'm like, man, this ain't as good as the other ones.
Exactly.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. I thought the end of Mass Effect Andromeda, that end sequence, I thought that was phenomenal. I mean, the last 3 hours of the game, I thought was like some really good story and other stuff, but it was just too much. Like the Protheans were too much like the Remnant, and it was silly. So
let me ask you this: do you think they're going to make another Mass Effect after this whole debacle that they had with this one?
No. Unfortunately, I want to be wrong. You know me, I want to be wrong so bad. But I tell you what, and I said this on another podcast, the people who had the Mass Effect dedicated channels, they've not podcast in like 6 weeks. And now that they've got the Anthem, because they're more BioWare fans than anything. Now that Anthem's coming out, they're now trying to talk about that. They literally have just moved on.
Exactly.
One guy said there's no reason to talk about a game that's on hiatus more than likely permanently because of the reception.
Yeah. I've always said, man, these media guys, they can make or break a game. You got to realize people have spent millions of dollars and a ton of time making these games for us. And if you get a beta of a game, you know, unpatched, and you let people play it, and they'll find bugs and they'll create on it, make sure that your game, you know, so it has a lot of power. So when people say that we're not going to release a demo, we're not handing out betas, we're not going to allow you to review the game until it launches after the patch is released, I understand why. I really do. I think this game was destroyed before it was even released.
Yeah, because the original Mass Effect, I don't think needed any updates as far as, and you know, and this is back to the 360. I mean, it was some scenes where it was dropping down to 12 FPS. You know, I'm talking about Mass Effect 1. I mean, I didn't care. I mean, I'm not bashing it, but yeah, a lot of that stuff they should have had in there already. But, and shout out to Yang Yi. He's another YouTuber. He does a real good Cliff Note breakdown of what really happened with Mass Effect Andromeda and why people are so upset with them. And I think it's more on EA because they have said the Frostbite engine that it's on is extremely difficult to develop facial animation for. That's just something that doesn't do well. So, and you know, they moved from the Unreal engine to the Frostbite engine because EA is doing Frostbite everything.
Yeah.
At this, you know, so even Madden, shout out to Tim Dog. I did not see any Madden gameplay, but I think Tim Dog said that it looked a little bit better, but it was nothing to write home about. That's just, I'm paraphrasing, but yeah. So that's disappointing as a Madden guy. But let me tell you, I'm gonna buy Madden because it has that high school mode. Then you go to college, and then you go. I'm buying that.
That's story mode, yeah. And I think EA is doing that across all their platforms. They did it with the FIFA last year. They're doing it with the NBA Live this year and the Madden. Again, EA is one of those companies when it comes to sports, man, they're, you know, all they're going to do is just make their games 4K. They're not going to do, you know, they're not going to make any major changes. And so we know what to expect when it comes to Madden and Live and FIFA. So,
yeah, even FIFA, that when that marketing went to what you call the Sony, that did surprise me because FIFA's been with Microsoft for
forever.
At least 7 years. So that's disappointing. Well, let me see if there's anybody got any questions in the chat, because it's getting to be that you know, it's going to be Craig going out time here. It's going to take me about an hour to get ready to put my face on.
I hear you.
Oh yeah, let me ask you this: what do you think about the announcement of Atari?
Wow, man, that was a shocker. I'm anxious, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of looking at them with the side eye. You know, I'm like, okay, they said they're bringing out a new console, and they said that it's kind of going to be, you know, it's going to be based off of the PC platform. So I'm looking at them with the side eye. You know, I don't want them to come with that some crazy stuff for, you know, I don't want to raise my expectation. You know, because right now we really want another Dreamcast. We really do. I think everyone would go out and support the new Dreamcast. But Atari, they've been out the game for so long. What games could they even bring to the table? You know, so I don't know. Maybe, you know, Test Drive Unlimited series. You know, what Atari games do they even have anymore?
None.
I mean, so it's gonna be like another Xbox. It's gonna be a third-party platform. You know, so you know, I don't know if just a multi-plat only system is the brightest thing to do. I mean, because you can always just buy a PlayStation and it gives you the multi-plats and the exclusives. You have to give a person a reason to buy your platform. And so hopefully Atari can do that. You know, maybe they could have deal with Sega and just have the bulk of Sega exclusive titles on there. I don't know. Maybe it's going to compete in the higher echelon of consoles, you know, the true 4K system. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't. Again, as far as the whole, I'm really glad Microsoft, and I went to Windows Central where I got that whole breakdown of what Microsoft was doing. And I'm really glad that came out, because I think I've always said to people, if you look at this as a patient, I work in the medical field, that patient came in with multiple lacerations and gunshot wounds, and they died on the table. Now, I hope people still go out and support it. But even you saying, after thinking about it, because you were pretty, I won't say you were gun-ho, but I know you're gun-ho about new tech, you were going to buy it. So the fact that you kind of hit the pause button, and that's a big deal. Yeah, and even Psycho Gamer last week, to his credit, he said, "Yeah, I'll probably still buy it." It was no, I'm gonna, So,
well, again, it's that when you're, it's all about expectations, man. It's these guys, the fanboys really hype the system up, over time. But then the executives did the same thing. They overhyped this stuff. When you see pictures of guys with, CPU chips in their mouths, and they're talking all big and bad and throwing out all these marketing terms like, true 4K, you're just like, well, what the hell is true 4K? Maybe this is some next gen shit.
Yeah.
But then reality set in, and you find out, all the games were running on PC, and then you're kind of left underwhelmed, and you find out there's no exclusives, and then you got to wait 2 and 3 years for some new games to come out. Then that price hit. You kind of put it together, and it just starts smelling, and you see some flies, flying around. It doesn't set right.
Yeah, I said it was the water bra announcement.
It's that whole water bra.
Yeah, you get that girl finally back to your place, and you got your Henny rolling, and you got the Marvin Gaye followed up by Luther, and then you go for broke, and it's a water bra. I mean, and you're disappointed, but you're gonna still do what you got to do because you're a man. But you do it with a little bit of disappointment. You feel what I'm saying? That's what this was. It's a water bra announcement. So still excited. You're still gonna be happy. Maybe there's gonna be stuff good about it. Maybe she'll compensate, and that's what Xbox is doing. Like, hey, look, we're doing this down sampling and stuff like that. So it's our super sampling, whatever you want to call it. So I hope people go out and buy the console. I mean, I'm not, but I'm happy with my Xbox One S, and it can just sit there and be on the floor, next to the TV, sitting on the side, because that's where they told me. The guy at Microsoft said, no, I'll put it on its side because it's, it cools better. So, but if nobody else has any questions, we can go ahead and close it up. And I'm just waiting to see if anybody's got any questions here. So, shout out. I did a thing on the Black Panther trailer, and I did a whole cast breakdown on what they were doing. So anybody wants to check that out, you can also look at E3 footage. They brought out Ryan Coogler and the rest of the guys, a couple, 1, 2, 3, about 5 people from that cast. So shout out to them. So getting that. So, but yeah, I'm just here looking at the comments. Nobody's asking any questions. So okay. And there you go, Halo Storm. As long as you're happy with what you got, that's all that matters. So
finally.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we've been trying to get you to say for, I don't know, since you've been here. So as long as you're happy, then it doesn't matter what anybody says, So that's why I said I don't care about what Digital Foundry says, because they're not in my citizen. I just saw something for Star Citizen. I'll get to that in a minute. They're not in my ear when I make my purchase. They're not there.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it. It's my money, and I need to be happy with it. Somebody said, if I've been keeping up with Star Citizen development. Yeah, let me tell you this. If they don't get Star Citizen out by October, they're going to get sued. Yeah. Because they've gotten over $200 million. And they still haven't come out with a completed product. Look, it does look. You could do some marvelous stuff. The landing and getting out of the ship and going to surfaces, walking around. It's a procedural generated planet, so that's beautiful. That's what they did in No Man's Sky. But the combat looks similar to Elite. It looks like Elite Dangerous. I've not played it. But Elite Elite, if you with that joystick on the Xbox, I can't make turns because I know it's a spaceship, but you need a keyboard to help with your side thrusters to give you those sharp turns, because you'll turn and you'll just keep. There's no gravity, so you're floating and you can shoot backwards. I mean, it's pretty cool. But so we'll have to see what Star Citizen brings. Yeah, that's the main game I will get on that PC. That'll be it. So somebody says, "Can I end the war?" In what war? If you talk about the console war, that's over. I mean, that's all I can say.
Oh yeah, this is all for fun and games. Yeah, it's been over. That's been over 3 years ago.
Yeah, when Sony hit 20 million, and I think at the time Microsoft was at 2.1 in sales, or maybe it was 4.4 in sales. I'm like, oh, this is over. Right?
You know what? For me, I knew it was over once that first price cut happened. That was it. That was it. Six months into it, that's it. Because never in the history has a console manufacturer had to cut the price within the first 6 months on market.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't. Yeah, you're right. I didn't, and I truly believe after 6 months. I put it like this: by the basketball tournament, well, maybe after that, by this time next summer, E3, Microsoft will drop the price on their Xbox X.
Oh yeah.
So that's what, 7 months after launch. It comes out, there will be a price drop, even if it's $30. It'll come down. It'll hit I want to say it'll hit $469.
Yeah.
So, it's yeah. Oh, thanks for doing that. Yeah, put him in timeout. Good. Yeah, I saw that. I was about to. Yeah. So, but yeah, all right, Hailstorm. Yeah, I saw that too. You've been here longer, so we'll let you go off with a warning here. So, but yeah. So, and Curveball, nothing personal. Just try to tone it down, brother. Try to tone it down.
That's it.
So yeah, there you go. So you both in timeout. So
yeah.
When Xbox game, Guardian Legend said that when Xbox games with the PC, that's when it was. Yeah, that's a good point too. I forgot about that. I did forget about that.
When they gave up all their exclusives. That was a sobering moment, and I think all the outrage that the Xbox got. Here's one thing I want to say, Craig.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
This is not a rant, but this is just one of those quick things. Have you ever noticed Microsoft would do something to piss off the Xbox fan base? These guys will scream and yell for one day, and then the next day they'll rationalize it and try to convince themselves that this was for the better good, and then they will say, well, no, this is good, this is what we need, yeah, and then Microsoft will come out and do something else to piss them off, and they will yell for that one day. Then the next day, these guys will find some kind of way to spin it around where it's really good, and it's like just yesterday, just like everybody else. It's baffling, man. It's like that battered wives syndrome. No matter how many times you get beat down, you still have to come back. Oh, he beats me because he loves me attitude. I think that's what Microsoft has with its fan base.
Yeah, Brian, hey, do you know is Sunset Overdrive, is that on PC? I thought that game went to PC.
It wouldn't shock me. It's probably coming to PC.
If it's not, because that's the same people that did Spider-Man. Is that Insomniac that did that, or is that?
Yeah.
So it may not be. I'm not for sure. Yeah, it's look, guys. I'm not the whole PC thing. Look, you all just need to be playing Star Citizen and not worry about anything else at this point. That's all you all need to be playing, or play that Civilization like I'm playing, Beyond Earth. Because me and my girl keep landing on planets, and she keeps on messing up. She thinks that she wants to go explore the planet and won't put no power stuff up. It's like everybody's gonna die because you didn't put no power stuff up here, So so that's just the way she plays. So love her to death, but my gosh, she doesn't understand real time strategy. So I say it's called real time strategy. That she want to explore for aliens and stuff like that. So she used to be a big Sims player, so it's kind of in the same vein of Sims. But she's playing Sims right now on the so that she's got, and she'll play that for an hour or two a day. She likes that. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and shut it down for this Friday night. It's almost 7:30, and after the fourth try, and Brian Seaver saying Star Citizen ain't coming out no time. It better. That's all I can say. It's been in development for like 40 months. So, and they've got over 200 million on that. So. So, yeah, does anybody know what other games other than Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2 are coming for Xbox in 2018? Everything else they showed except, I guess, Crackdown, Cuphead, all that stuff's coming out this year. So, Forza, that's coming out this year. But for the most part, most of that stuff is coming out on it'll be out as a multi-plat. So, yeah. It is what it is. Like Kratos said earlier, if you can already have that game, what's the point of going out getting the other system? Yeah, and I'm gonna buy Cuphead because I like that type of animation. I don't like the way that thing was running around, but the other cutscene animations, I thought those looked. I like animation like that. So
Cuphead would make a great game on the Switch.
Yeah, no doubt. You're right about that. So yeah, Forza Horizon 4 probably won't be announced until, I guess, next year.
Next year.
Yeah. And it'll be 4K native, but it'll be 30 FPS unless they change the engine and they make it 4K 60. That's Fall of Duty said that. So that's just because the original one is 30 FPS. And I don't have a problem with it being 30. It's a console. It is a console, and they shoot for 30 FPS. Some games are 60, however. I want to say like 84% of the games on console are at 30. So you can kind of see where they're aiming for. It's they're not going to cater to 16%. Just like I know I got a 4K TV, Kratos does, but we are in the minority. Therefore, we can't tell 4 out of 5 owners that, to think that the developer is going to favor us, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 is stupid. But that was Jack Reacher. He thought the developers were going to do that.
Exactly.
So yeah, but we'll go. Do you know if Next Machina has HDR support? Because I do not know. So
I do. Me neither. I don't know either. But I'll definitely find out.
Yeah, we'll find out for you. So in closing, the PS5 has been confirmed. They are going to do it. We broke that news to you all here a couple months ago. So the Digital Foundry has confirmed that it's a checkerboard on Spider-Man. It does have HDR. And apparently at the 120 mark, they say, quote, it holds up nicely, even though it's a checkerboard, So that's according to them. That's what they said. Project Cars 2 is not running 4K native on anything. Let's see here. Yeah, Titanfall 2 it's either going to downsample from 6K or upscale to or use some kind of dynamic resolution, which again I have no idea. Quantum Dreams, I don't know the name of the company that's making Shoot Fire, that's making Detroit Become Human. If this Quantum Dreams, they apparently took some shots at Xbox, they took them down. So that was pretty much it. We got some other opinions on other things. I think for the most part, he says our Citizen won't be ready by October. There's still also, what is Squadron 42? I've seen that. What is that? So, and why are they still making shit for it? That's not even done. I'm not there. I'm not in it. And that guy, God love him. He's very smart, and his wife is fine. I mean, my God. It's like he was cut out of clay, like that Wonder Woman said. So, but when you get that kind of money, yeah. So, yeah. So, hopefully everybody goes out and, me personally, I am coaching right now, so I will not be able to do anything except, play. I may be able to get on some Elite Dangerous later on this evening. So, all right, let me ask you, somebody's asked about Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. So, Curveball said the graphics suck, but it looks like a Disney Marvel thing. So
yeah, what else did you expect? Did you expect infamous? I don't know. It's using Unreal Engine 4. Yeah, which was also used. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Unreal Engine 4 was also used on
XCOM 2. So it looks similar to that. You know, also, come on, man. You know it. You know you don't play no games. Yeah, I know. I don't. You know, yeah, I've been playing since I don't know. Since probably most of you all were running down the side of your mama's leg. So not holding it, running down. So yeah, new SOCOM game would make me happy. But I signed that petition for SOCOM, and they're not gonna do it.
They have the VR. It's not called SOCOM, but it's in essence a SOCOM game. The VR, the shooter. I forgot what they called it. It's maybe you know, Craig.
Oh, I did see that. I did see that. I wanted to ask you about VR. Did you see enough at that conference to? Are you happy you were an early adopter of VR, because it looks like that they're going 2 feet in now?
I am. I haven't been missing out on anything. I've been getting a constant flow of games for it, and you know, there's just so many games, and I think now that, you know, come E3, it has a full showcase of all of these great VR games. I know some people are still waiting for the price to come down on it, and you're probably going to get a small price drop. But at the end of the day, if you know, this is new technology, and guys, I mean, you have to realize new technology costs money. It's expensive.
Yeah, true. Now Garage Legends is saying, and referring to the Marvel game, he says no X-Men, no buy. Well, understand that's because Marvel does not own the X-Men. The X-Men, they don't own Spider-Man. Sony does. They're just sharing him. They don't own the Incredible Hulk. Universal does. So, well, I think that now Marvel can still do comics with everybody, but they cannot do. They sold movie rights, so Marvel owns all the Avengers stuff. Captain America. The only A-line character they kept was Captain America. So he goes, Iron Man was considered a B guy.
Yeah.
Hawkeye and Black Widow are on the C line. All their A characters are gone. They're, like you said, X-Men, Spider-Man, all those guys are, they're done, you know. So that's why comic books, they are killing off the X-Men. Literally, they're dying. You know, they're being killed off systematically because Marvel wants the characters back. Fox won't budge, so it is what it is. So that's why I did that. Matter of fact, I did that the other day because that's what me and Widowmaker were talking about, adamantium and vibranium, and why this is kind of off topic a little bit here, but adamantium is in the Fox universe and vibranium is in the Marvel universe. Very similar, but vibranium isn't as stable as adamantium. Adamantium is a little more it's more stable. It can be grafted to skin, obviously, but because that's what that one girl, and she's got the same stuff in her. It's just pliable. Vibranium can explode. If you read the Black Panther comic books, it's always the Great Mound. There's always something going on at the Great Mound, and that's why Shuri is there. That's Black Panther's sister. All hell starts breaking loose. And it's a comedy routine between him and his sister because she makes weapons, shit blows up, everybody gets in trouble. He's got to come and save the day. So, yeah, Fantastic Four, somebody Ryan landed, that's owned by Fox as well. So Fantastic Four, that means they own Galactus, they own Surfer, all that is with Fox. So nobody knows the language I'm speaking. Oh, okay. Well, it's called comic book talk. I'm over here. It's called being a sweaty. So the more deeper you go into the comic book world, you start getting sweaty. They call it because everybody that reads comic books is a fat sweaty. So we coined the term sweaty. So it is what it is. Yeah, comic book mumbo jumbo. It is. Hey, but everybody plays video games. They also read. The same people that play in the comic book, read comic books, play video games. You're literally crossing over into the same audience at this point. Yeah. So that's why I'll be bringing more movie stuff into my things. I would do, so that's why I'm doing that. So, but yeah, that's about it, guys. If you all have no more questions, I know Kratos is on vacation. So yeah, God of War and Spider-Man are buy on day one. Yeah. For me, they both are, somebody just put that in. So yeah, but Cousin Curveball likes some comments. Cool, man. I like them too. But Kratos, you want to give yourself a shout out real fast before we get out of here and the screen goes green like the Incredible Hulk?
Exactly. Thanks everybody for rocking out with your boy J-Dub, aka Kratos, the god of PlayStation. You guys can find me on Twitter at JDubCity16. I'm always keeping people laughing with the memes and the gifs. Just having fun with the whole console war thing. At the end of the day, whatever platform you have, buy your games, support your developers. If not, you won't have any games, and you'll be like the guys with the purple M's in their names, crying and talking about media bias and talking about journalists and developers and doing all the boycotting and all that stuff. Anyway, thanks for rocking out with us. Make sure you hit the like button for Craig. The guy's a beast. I enjoy being on his channel. I enjoy, how he interacts with you guys in the comment section and stuff like that. Craig, keep doing your thing. I'll keep supporting you, keep sharing. You guys can check me out on my channel, The Kratos Presents Underground, and I'll have the Godcast and I have the Titans podcast as well, the Titans of Gaming. So that's it, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, no problem, man. Big shout out to you. Again, Kratos, if you don't know, is donated the graphics card. I believe that's what it's called. It's like the same size as my screen, right? I have a 24-inch screen. It like goes across the whole screen. So big shout out to him for that. And I always appreciate that, brother. I'm not gonna stop thanking you for that. So you're gonna have to get used to that. No Yeah, shout out to all you guys in the chat for not coming back in my LeBron voice. Not one, not two, not three. You all came back 4 times, and the screen did not green out. So maybe I don't know if I was getting attacked by the Xbot or something like that, or Jack Reacher maybe trying to do something to me. For all I know, I may disappear. So, but that's it, guys. Enjoy your console. If you're gonna buy the new Xbox, go buy it. Don't worry about me because I've got an Xbox One S. Hit me up if you get the new console. And again, we'll when it comes out, we'll do a wrap up of everything here. I know we're getting Hellblade. That's not till August. And that, for me, Hellblade, and here's in order. It's going to be Persona 5, Elite Dangerous for the PlayStation 4 Pro. I got to finish Nier Automata. My God, we're still playing that. So somebody put a 0.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, J-Do, you put a 0. Yeah. A GTX 460. No, I didn't know they had a 460. So, nah, he didn't. But, hey, the main thing is he donated to the cause. I'm still waiting on you to do that, Cousin Curveball. So that's the main thing here. But, yeah, just go buy the console, support the console. And, if somebody wants to explain what happened, again, because that was an open part of the podcast, and nobody wanted to jump in. Halo Storm was on some stuff like, I don't know what he was talking about, but ultimately he said as long as he's happy with what he's got, like, wow, that's what I've been saying and Kratos has been saying here since he's got here. So, but that's about it, guys. I do appreciate you all being here. Yep, I'll buy Hellblade, and then that I was gonna say Call of Duty. My God, the Uncharted DLC, whatever. Yeah, I'm buying that. So that'll wrap that up for me. Then of course Madden. Then I'll be poor. So at that point, hopefully the PC at that point, I'll be able to start putting parts in like on my birthday, which is on August the 23rd. So hopefully the first part will physically go in on my birthday. That's the plan. So if you see me with a video cast up, that's me putting the PC, putting one part in at a time, one at a time. Like Savage Juger said, they're gonna hit one step at a time. Hit them low, just one step at a time. So yeah, but yeah, Persona 5, yeah, he said it's gonna be for over 100 hours. That's fine. Sea of Thieves is a slave simulator. So you all wait till the end to start being funny. So That's too bad. But hey, look, this thing went down 2 or 3 times. It went down more than a Chinese prostitute. So hey, look, you all came back, and I appreciate it. We appreciate Kratos. Thanks for sticking through it, because I know you on vacation, so doing some other stuff. So yeah, that is about it. Yeah, I'm e-begging now. I guess. Yeah. Look, if people want me to get the new Xbox, they can donate it to me. That's fine for me. That's fine for me. So yeah. So everybody just keep an eye out. Yeah, I have a Patreon. Just go check that out if you want to donate. So if not, just come back. You don't have to donate to get on the show. It ain't one of those type of things. So, but shout out to Andrew Wilkins and I forgot the other guy, Steven Salivar, for donating. It's $1 chump change for a G, as Fox would say. So I appreciate it, everybody. Thanks to the mods, you Kratos for modding, Savage Yuga for modding, Andrew when you came in. Thanks for being a mod. I do appreciate it. So, but that is it, guys. It is Craig Harris with special guest Kratos, the black man in the green chair, and the black man in Canada.
There you go.
Up there with Canadian dry, and Canadian whiskey. So nothing wrong with that. So, but I appreciate you all being here, guys. Thanks. Have a good Friday. Be safe. And if you go out at night, wear white. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.